historian because a lot of the things that we look at from our democratic, I have my rights and so forth and so forth, and we end up getting the whole story completely wrong because we read it in context of what we think nowadays. Historian because a lot of the things that we versus what it was back then, which is a big difference. Okay, big difference. All righty. So we do have our YouTube family up. I got you there. So as they're coming in, we will be good to go there. Let me go ahead and switch screens. Let me put this up for you. All right. And this is screen number 1. So let me share screen number 1. All right, cool. Perfect. Okay. So great morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody. And not sure if Donna's on there now, but I want to still wish her a happy birthday. Yesterday was her birthday. And I know her son's birthday was a few days before that. So they have, hopefully she had a great birthday. All right. Lord, I pray that this meeting goes well and everything. We'll be able to learn something today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, those who are here at the very beginning at 8:30 on the nose, I was telling you guys that I was looking at this trade right here, and it literally was begging me to get into it. And I said, no, I'm not sure because with news events, let me kind of go over this. Hey, Stone, how are you? Good morning, sir. Good morning to you as well. I will say this, one of the reasons why I got out of news trading is because back a while ago, when I was learning and being taught how to news trade, and they were showing me all these different strategies and different things. Oh, put one trade up here, put one trade down here, and whichever one hits, and you go from there. And what used to happen, the market makers started realizing that's what people were doing. So what happens is it's still spiking in both directions. Okay, and which they still, sometimes it will still happen, especially in the futures market, which I like trading in the futures market. So they will spike it in both directions. Let me see if I can show you a candle right here, because I see one for an example, so you guys can kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. Right here, and again, forgive me, my throat is scratchy and everything else. Trying to get myself back 100% because I got a big event coming up this weekend, and maybe if we have time, I'll tell you guys about it. Huge event. I got a huge event, very important. Right here, this is where I'm talking about. So some people were taught, hey, you want to put a trade right here, right before the news event, put a trade right there, and you put another one on the other side right here. And anybody ever was taught that before? Type a 10 in the box if you ever been taught that before. I want to see if I'm the only person. Oh, Liz, you were too? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so at least I ain't the only one. Oh, okay, there's more people. Okay, I ain't the only one. So you can see where the problem comes in, because as soon as the news event comes out, depending on what the news is, it can spike big in both directions. Now, I will tell you guys, the ones that, let me kind of do this for you, that I don't personally like to trade. And let me make this yellow. All right. Let me put this up. Please take a screenshot of this, okay? I put these news events out every Sunday for you guys, which a lot of people still not paying attention. They still don't pay attention, then they start crying. Okay, all right, here we go. Take a screenshot of this. CPI, which just happened, the Consumer Price Index, or Customer Inflation Report is what I like to call it. It makes big moves in the market. NFP, which is non-farm payroll. This is one of those that it's employment numbers for the U.S. It's a big market maker move. Big move in the markets. You also have the inflation report, and it doesn't matter whether it's U.S. or any of them. I don't care who it is, which on Thursday, the CHF, that's the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc is coming out. Some people call it the chief or sheaf or whatever you want to name it, but it's actually the Swiss franc, CHF. Okay, like the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, some people say the Chiefs. Okay, it's the Swiss franc. That's what it's supposed to be. I don't know why they call it the CHF, but that's what it is. Okay, so the Swiss Swiss franc is coming out on Thursday with the inflation report. So that's inflating how big has the countries inflated their prices or reduced their prices? That's basically what it means. The impact on the citizens. Okay. So you have the interest rates, regardless of whichever currency is naming it. I don't care who it is. I don't fool with it. Okay. Meeting minutes is more of like the Fed meeting minutes, which sometimes they'll say something important, sometimes they won't. This one I'm really starting to ignore, especially if the Fed interest rates have already been announced recently, like a week before or a couple of days before. Then I really don't pay much attention to it because it's really no longer a big market mover. So I could take this off my list. Now, if Fed minutes are coming out before Fed interest rates, then yeah, I'm gonna pay attention to it. But if they have already just announced the Fed interest rates, then I'm not gonna worry about it, okay? And US sentiment, and this was a shocker because normally I never pay attention to this, but US sentiment is more of how do people feel about the inflation? So what is the overall arching theme? Inflation, inflation, inflation. And inflation drives interest rates with the federal governments, okay? And not just the federal government, but all governments. They are driven by inflation numbers. So the bigger the inflation, then they do certain things with the interest rate. So it's kind of like they're married as husband and wife. They get, in order to set interest rates, okay, up or down, they get their information from the inflation numbers. So inflation feeds into interest rates, and interest rates feeds into inflation. So these two are hand in hand. So this is why, personally, for me, I'm suggesting to you guys, always check the news before you take a trade, just to make sure that you're not entering trades at the wrong time. I guarantee somebody woke up this morning, saw a setup, okay, and they just hopped into it, and they have paid no attention to the news, okay? They didn't. Now, I will say this, some people love trading news because they understand where it goes. And here's what their concept is, and they're right. If you have an idea of where the market is going to go for long term, and you're in one of those pairs that trends very well, they know already in advance that, yes, this is let me kind of do it like this so you guys can see. Let me see if I can find something for you. All right, let's see. Let's go to daily. This will make sense to you. Because some people, they don't mind. They don't really care. They're just like, okay, whatever. I ain't tripping. All right, let's take a look at this pair. It's right here in front of us. Okay, let's see if I can draw this channel. Okay. All right. And you understand why senior veteran traders sometimes will still take trades and they don't really care whether it goes one way or the other. All right, so just looking at this at a glance, and this is the AUD USD, okay? AUD USD. Just helping you to have a better understanding. Right here, this is from the daily. So this is new. This is the daily. You can see the daily arrow came out right here, and that was all the way from October 2024. Okay, October 2024 is when this arrow came out. Everybody with me so far? Type a yes if you're with me so far and you understand what I'm saying. I'm just giving you different ways of looking at it. If you are a person who likes taking trades during news, okay, that's not a big deal because I'm showing you what the professional traders do. This is why they don't mind. They don't really care. They manage their money well so that if the trade works against them, fine. If it doesn't work against them, fine. They don't really care. So this is where you can see this has been running. My simplicity arrow came out on October 8th, 2024. So everybody who has my simplicity system, you can follow along, okay? Go to the daily on AUD USD and look at this from October 8th, 2024, okay? Even if you don't have simplicity, but you have your own setup, you can still follow along so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? All right, now, from there, and let's kind of tighten this up a bit, tighten up our game, okay? All right, from there, come on, baby. Don't do that to me. All right, there. All right, so from there, and let's just say to here, this is January 13th, 2025. So we're talking about when the arrow came out here on the daily, it ran from October of last year to mid-January of this year. So do you believe there was a lot of news events such as NFPs, such as inflation reports, such as interest rates reports, and everything in between that happened during this time? If you believe that, type of 25 in the box. I want to make sure you guys are following me. Type of 25 if you believe there was a lot of different news events that happened during that time. Okay. Yes, of course there was. Of course. But as you can see, for certain people who have the ability to not watch every trade like a hawk, okay, these are professional traders. Professional traders. They're long-term investors. They know where this thing is going. And these are also your banks and institutions. They know what's coming. They know news events or this and that. They know about all that. But they're moving millions and millions of dollars, okay? Such as the people who's trading your 401ks, your IRAs. Like you guys didn't even know, they're being traded in the markets. That's why when the market crashed, so does your 401k and IRA. And I'll never forget people were arguing with me about it because they thought I was making it up, only to find out when there was a market crash, their 401k dropped like a rock. So who was right? I was. How do I know? I went to school for that. I told you guys years and years and years ago, I paid $25,000 to go to stock market school. Okay, 25 grand. That's how much it cost me. And not only me, my parents went with me, and so they paid 25 grand. So between the two of us, we paid $50,000 to be educated in the stock market. So when I came back and told people about this, nobody believed me. And I don't argue with people. I told you I don't deal with stubborn people. Do whatever you think, but let the market crash again. Guess what's going to happen? Your 401k IRA is going to sink. Okay, but nobody ever watches it. So nobody cares until their retirement. Then they look at it and say how much money I have. I wish that mentality was like that in the Forex market, but unfortunately, people who trade in the Forex market, they watch every trade like a hawk. Okay, so therefore, people who trade in the Forex market who has the maturity to not panic over every single trade, because these are the type of traders, and Dr. Elvis is one of them, by the way, just so you guys know. Dr. Elvis is one of these people. So this is why his accuracy is so high, because he's looking at it from this standpoint, and everybody else is looking at it from every single daily move, every single little pip, every single little this and that. And he's looking at it from here saying, oh, I already know where you're going. So they just hop in at the best price they can, and they just sit back and chill for the month. Literally, this is what they do. All they need to do is understand what is the direction that this thing is going, and they just hop in, and they just like, okay, it'll get there. So for an example, look at this big news hopper. This thing hopped up big right here. Everybody can see that. Big. Jumped big. Big move. Okay? 200 pip move. What happened the very next day? All that money was gone. Went right back down and kept on going down. See, they don't care. That's just the way they trade. They don't care. Because what happens is they use such a small lot size and they just hang on for the ride. They don't care. It's just not that big of a deal to them. So this is why they're not emotionally moved over news events. So this is why I only suggest that if you're a professional trader who has the ability to not panic over every single trade, then you'll be great for take your trades. It doesn't matter whether they win or lose. You know what I mean? When it comes to news events, you don't really care because you have this professional mindset of understanding where everything is going to go eventually anyway. So now these little pullbacks is exactly that, more than a pullback. You'll get back down into the swing of things. Okay. For an example, let's take a look at gold, which Golden Boy is killing it. Okay. What direction is this? What direction is this? From the daily standpoint. Thank you, Patty. Patty said, I realized news kind of shapes the markets, but the trend is the king. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Patty. Thank you. Okay. A blind man can see that this is an uptrend. You get what I'm saying? So for those who panic over every little pullback, oh, this trade is in a pullback. See, when you're looking at it from this standpoint, you know exactly where it's going. And this is why long-term investors always are more profitable than day traders and day traders and scalpers. Well, I won't say scalpers because you're in and out all the time. It just depends. I'll just say like this. This is why professional traders are better than beginner traders because they have patience to understand that even if they get in at the wrong price, look at like if you would have got in right here and this thing pulled back. Oh my God, you're tripping. You are tripping. You are tripping. You having a hard time. Oh my God, you are freaking out. But in the grand scheme of things, even if you got in at a bad point here, and look at where price is now, was this actually a bad entry? For a retail trader, absolutely. But for a professional trader, they're like, I don't care. I know where you're going to go. Okay. So for an example, this was July 17th, okay, 2024. And here we are up here. How much money you think a person who invested made up here from here to here? Could they have found a better entry? Of course they could have. You know how? If they would have had my trading system, because they would have, even from the daily, you can see, wait for it to pull back. It's creating higher lows. Wait for the white dot. See that? Simplicity and sexy analyst combined. So if you want to be one of those traders who want to hold trades and you understand where this is going, get my trading system and throwing it in there. But the truth is, you see that it's creating higher lows. You would have known not to get in right here. You would have waited for that pullback and that higher low. Look, higher low for people who's brand new. What does that actually mean? Because I didn't understand it for a long time. It was, oh, just look at the higher low highs, higher lows. They always say that, but they never explain it. Here it all. As I always tell you people, just think about it as if you're walking upstairs or walking downstairs. If you're walking upstairs, every step that's coming wherever your foot is now, the next step is always going to be higher than the one you're standing on. Then as you're going upstairs, the next step is higher than that one. The next step is higher than that one. That's how you know you're in an uptrend. And it's actually reversed when you're going downstairs. If you're at the top of the steps, the next step you're going to step on is going to be lower than the one you're on. So lower highs. It's high up, but it's every step you take, it's going to be lower than the previous high point. Okay. So you're just walking downstairs. Okay. So this one is clear. You're walking upstairs. You're just walking upstairs. So if I know I'm walking upstairs, I wouldn't have gotten in right here. I would have waited for the pullback, sat right there. Sexy analysts say, all right, we have supports. We got everything we need. Look for a buy arrow from Simplicity and hold on to the ride. Okay. But even if you got in up here and the price is now up here, see, investors, this is what they're looking at. The Warren Buffetts of the world, no price. As soon as it pulls back, everybody else is saying, that's terrible, terrible. And then when they get up here and all the other freakouts were down here saying, oh, no, bro. And then when the price gets all the way up here, they say all the time, how many times have you told yourself, dang, I should have held on to that trade? Type a 45 in the box if you ever said that to yourself. Dang, I should have held on to that trade. I can say it. Yeah, I've done it many times. Am I right? Yeah, this is the truth. Why? Because we're looking at it from pip by pip. Every little tiny move is life or death. But for investors and long-term people who can see the vision, they see it as an investment and they say, yeah, I could have got a better entry, but I don't care because I know where it's going. Why? Because they're looking at, okay, if this is creating higher lows, even if I got in at the wrong time, it's still in an uptrend. Why do I know? Because look at the steps. They're like you're literally walking right upstairs. So yeah, I got in on the fourth step, but there's about 32 steps. So even if I got a bad entry on the fourth step, it doesn't matter because there's 32 of them going upstairs. So, okay, who cares? So it's different. So they don't care about pullbacks. They don't care about news events because they know exactly where it's going. And this is why their accuracy is so much higher than the average day retail trader who looks at every move, every move, every move. You can't even work your job because every time you enter a trade, all you're doing is staring at your phone, staring at the phone, staring at the phone, staring at the phone. But them, they take their trades, they get on their yachts, and they do whatever they want to do. They don't care. So until you graduate to that level, which everyone should graduate to that level, just understand, hey, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back. If it's creating higher highs and I got a bad entry, it's okay. Because eventually it's just going to still get there. All right. Let me leave you with this one and then we'll move on. That was July 18th, 2024. Let's take a look at here, because now you're up in very nice profits. From this point, and let me mark this so you guys can see it. From this point to this point right here, you're already back in profit. Okay, bad entry and all. And how long did it take? Very next month, 8/21, and you're back in profit. See, took a couple of weeks. That's okay. They don't care. And in fact, if they get a bad entry, here's what they actually do. If they get a bad entry and it pulls back and they know that this is a higher time frame move to the upside, they'll actually say, okay, let me just add to my position, and they double up right here, and then it goes on up, and they're fine. They don't panic because, and I'm gonna write this in your notes, why don't they panic even if they're wrong? Because their lot size is so decent until it doesn't have any impact. You will hear most professional traders say that they risk 1 to 2% on every trade, no more than that. 1 to 2% of their overall account balance. So if they're only risking 1 to 2% on every trade, why would they piss and panic? Unlike, I ain't saying you, I'm looking somewhere else, but look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you trading with 1 to 2%? Or are you trading with 40, 50, and 60% of your account every single trade? And if you are, you can see why you can't even handle pullbacks, because you're emotionally attached to the trade. Why? Because your lot size is too big. So you see why lot sizes is very important, because when it goes in the pullback, you don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. And even if the trade does lose, okay, on to the next one. All right, let's get on to something else. Can everybody type an amen on that if you understood exactly what I taught you? For some of you guys, that alone, what we just talked about, will be life-changing for you. Okay, that's not what I really want to talk to you guys about today. But if that makes sense to you, type amen. All right. All right. Okay, you guys. Now, let me tell you something else. I knew this was going to pull back up. Great. That was good. Good, good, good. All right. This is a fine example right here. Okay. All right. So this is the, where am I? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong pair. Let's see. No, actually, let's go back and I'll show you what I mean. All right. So this trade went into a fall. Okay. We see the arrow came out. Simplicity said sell, and actually Simplicity was right. Again, very accurate trading system. We've been using it for years. So it said to sell, and it did sell off, and you made some very, very nice pips on this. But what is it doing immediately after this news event now? What do you guys see it doing? And this is in front of your face, so that there's no way you can't say, okay, Uncle P is making this up. He's faking, shaking, and baking, because this is literally happening right in front of your eyes. Okay, what is it doing? Tell me exactly what this is doing right now as we speak. This is literally the charts right in front of your face. What is it doing? Thank you, guys. Actually, yeah, of course. It's pulling right back up. Why? Because what is it trying to do? It's trying to obey the overall trend. This is a perfect example. News came out, shot down, just like Simplicity said. But of course, you don't want to hang on to a sell. This thing, I'm going to ride it all the way down. Oh, and this is where greedy people come in, because you did make profits, but you don't take the profits because you expect, oh, I'm going to take this down to the floor. This thing been going up too high. Who said it was too high? You? You said it's too high? Listen, you better start obeying what this trend is telling you. What that thing telling you? Go to 4 hour. What the 4 hour telling you? What the 4 hour telling you? And you can clearly see, boom, 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 boom. Are you walking upstairs or are you walking downstairs? That's a good question to start with. Everybody, even on Telegram, hey, Jake and everybody else, hey, Patty, Tonya, Carleton, Carjack, and a bunch of others. I can't see all the names. But let me ask you guys this. Okay. And I know we're going to have hundreds of people watch this later. I'm asking you a very simple question. Are you walking upstairs based on what you're seeing, or are you walking downstairs? The technical name is creating higher highs. I get that, but let's keep it simple for the beginner. Are you walking upstairs or are you walking downstairs? Which way are you walking? Which way? Talk to me, you here? We're walking upstairs. This is the simplest way for you to understand what an uptrend is and what a downtrend is. If you're in a downtrend, you're walking downstairs. Okay. If you and again, putting a plug in there, but again, this is exactly why I built the Sexy Analyst. Because I don't have to figure nothing out. I don't have to mark up my charts. It's right there in front of me. No matter what pair I click on, it's going to tell me exactly what I need to know from the 4-hour standpoint. And from there, I know which direction to take my trades. Okay. So when the scanner sends an alert, and this is what the scanner is doing, it's sending alerts now. See, it's still sending alerts. These are probably older, but see, when the scanner sends alerts, it'll send me an alert to my phone. And then what I'll do is I'll take a look and say, okay, is this in the same direction as the direction here or not? And if it is, I'll take it. If not, I'll leave it alone. That's all. See, what's the direction here? What's the direction here? Okay. And I got one called sexy up and sexy down. Let's do sexy down. What's the direction there? What this doing? Are we walking downstairs or upstairs? Are we walking downstairs or upstairs? Look at this one. Are we walking downstairs or upstairs? Clearly you're walking down. That's how you know that it's a downtrend. So yes, this arrow on the 15-minute comes out and says, hey, there's an opportunity for a sale. So look at this. If we got this sale trade, look at this. GCAD says sell on the 15-minute. Okay, let's take a look at it. Was it accurate? Was it accurate? This is literally right in front of your face. I don't want nobody telling me no bull crap. I don't want to hear no foolishness. Don't call me no, oh, he's a scammer, he's a this and that, because this is literally happening right in front of your eyes. I don't want to hear it. The problem is, this is why people were saying bad things, because they wouldn't follow directions. They wouldn't follow directions. This is simple. What does this look like? You're literally going downstairs. So this is clearly a downtrend from the 4-hour perspective. So when the scanner sends the alert, if it says a buy trade, you ignore it because it's just a short-term pullback. But if okay, guys, can you guys see me again? I don't know what just happened just now. I do not know what just happened. Well, let me turn this on. Type of 45 in the box if you can see me and hear me. I do not know what just happened. It just blinked out. Okay, perfect. All right, cool, perfect. All right, so again, if you have the simplicity system and the simplicity arrow, the simplicity scanner, both of the trend periods are set to 1. Okay, they're set to 1. All right, let's see. Let me share my screen again. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, there we go. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. It just Zoom had just zoomed me out, and there we go. All right, so we're back. All right, so basically, here's what I have. I have a term period of 1, and as you can see, you can pick any time frame you want, but I only choose the 15-minute time frame. So let's take a look. The scanner had said, hey, there's an opportunity for a sale on the 15-minute, okay, GBP CAD. So let's go to the 15-minute. And again, I could have clicked on it right here, because once it pops up and shows you there's a sale, you can just click on the symbol itself, and it'll pop the charts up to whatever you have set, whatever template you have. And let me show you that real quick. So if you have, whatever template you saved in your templates, because you can customize your own template, and then just tell it right here under template name, whatever chart you want it to open up for you, and it'll go directly to that template. Okay. So when it did that, let's take a look at what we see. Let's get you out of the way, put you back up here. All right. So it said there was a sell opportunity. We already saw that this was a downtrend. So basically, and there we go. And how many pips could you have made just this morning? 64 pips. And that's off of the news event. So in other words, Simplicity was telling you where the market was going to go before the news event even came out today. Praise God. How about that? How about that? How about that? It told you before the news. It was another one. Huge. These are 2 trades you could have made money. It said to sell before the news event. You can see the arrow right here. Before the news event. That was another 53. So you're talking about over 100 and some pips. And that was just from last night until today. It called it before the news even came out. That's a powerful system. That's why it's been around for so long, and I still use it. Okay. Now, let's segue quickly into what we're actually supposed to be talking about today for time's sake, and then we'll get into questions and see if I can help you guys with any questions you may have. Okay. All right. So the question that I want to ask you guys is, on average, and YouTube family, hey Jake and everybody, Michelle, I see you there, and Stone, I see all you guys, so here's the deal. I want to ask you guys a simple question. My question to you is, on average, how many trades are you taking a day? Somebody type. How many trades do you think you're taking a day? Some of you guys never journal anyway, so you won't be able to know this, but just give me a good estimate, a guesstimate. Give me a good guesstimate. How many trades you take a day? Okay, Derek says 2 to 3. Bashan says 2. Dudley says 4. Okay. Derwin says 4. Liz says about 4. Okay. YouTube family, what do you guys have? I don't see you guys typing. Rob says he only takes 1 to 2 trades a week. Boy, you are super disciplined. Way to go, Rob. You better than me. My little itchy hands. Because I get bored. That's one of my problems. And a lot of you guys, you want to retire from your job and have nothing to do. Reg says it depends on the market. A lot of you guys are saying, hey, it just, I want to retire. I want to retire. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. But truth is, when you retire, you're very bored. I get bored easily. Sometimes I'm literally have to find something to do because Nancy, which she's in a big meeting right now. I really respect what she does. And so, she's in the meeting helping children who has disability. She actually teaches online, and she's in a lot of meetings with leaders of school board leaders and principals and all these different things. And she also teaches kids who have cancer. They can't attend school, so they actually have to be still taught, and it's called hospital homebound, where they actually, still need the education, but they get taught in between their cancer treatments and this and that. And so that's one of the things she does as well, is she teaches them, regular education from home, because she works from home and they're at home. So I have a lot of respect for what my wife does. So a lot of times I'm just listening, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV or something, bored or whatever, and listening to her while she's in her meetings because I ain't got nothing else to do. So what does that lead to? Trading excessively. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do to control myself. Let's go to the YouTube family. Carjack says 0 to 2 trades a day. Okay. RSI says 1 trade a day. Praise God. Good, good, good. Jake says 10 trades. All right, that sounds more like me, Jake, when I'm bored. Stone says 10. Okay, yeah, yeah. So you ain't in bad company. You ain't in bad company. All right. Crypto says morning traders. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. All right. Let's go over here to our Zoom family. Multiple trades a day. Okay, so you're a scalper. So yeah, that does make sense. High Q. All right, cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so let's get to it. Why am I bringing this up? One of the things to help Uncle P control his urges to trade. Okay, and I'm currently in multiple groups, and some of these groups are some that you guys know on YouTube. You've probably seen their YouTube videos and Snap. So I'm attached to a lot of different groups. Here's one of the things they're always talking about. Okay, hear me good. One of the things they're always talking about is becoming what they call, write this in your notes, a mechanical trader. Okay, a mechanical trader. Okay, a mechanical trader is a person who does not trade off of emotions. They don't trade because they need to quit their job. They don't take trades because they need more money by Friday to pay an electric bill. Their personal life has nothing to do with trading. I'm going to say that again. Your personal life has nothing to do with the markets. Are we here to make money in the markets? 200%. Yes, we are. But, but, does that have anything to do with trading? No, it does not. It doesn't. They don't pay no attention to that. Their personal needs, their personal emotions, whether you're going through a relationship breakup or a divorce or whatever. And I got a tip towards the end because I told you guys I got a big event coming up this weekend. And I'm going to give you guys a tip on that coming up. But here's the point. What they do is they find a mechanical system that tells them exactly when they're supposed to get into the trades, and then they just leave it to fate. Literally, this literally is what they do. They leave it to fate. They never try to get emotional. The only thing they control is, okay, if you told me to get in here, I'm going to obey what you said to do. The one thing I'm going to do is put a lot size that's small enough to where I can emotionally handle it. And this is where most retail traders are struggling poorly, because you don't follow a trading system. You don't follow your trading plan. And then a bill comes up or your job, whatever it is, and you get emotional. If you lose a trade, you get emotional. And then you start revenge trading. And most of us heard of that and have done that. So we're always urging, it's just this urgency, and it creates so much chaos in the mind. So it's not even fun. Okay. And that you want to do this full time, and you need to stop and ask yourself, okay, I keep claiming I want to do this full time, but can I really actually do it full time? Do I have the bandwidth and the emotions to handle doing this full time to where I have nothing else to do but to sit on my hands and wait for the next trade? If you're an undisciplined trader. See, if you have other things to do, then trading is a side piece. It's like the side chick. You ain't tripping. Okay. But if you just left your relationship and now you're in a bad situation and you feel lonely, what happens with people? They make bad relationship choices. Why? Because anybody will be okay with them now because they just need somebody to lay in the bed with. You know you don't even like this person. They stink. Their feet are too big. Got crust in their eyes. But you laid up with them. Why? Because you're just taking anything you can because you're in a bad emotional state. Somebody type amen. Not for you, but for your cousin. Okay? Somebody type amen. Zone family, type amen if you know I'm telling the truth. Desperate people make desperate bad decisions because they're making it out of desperateness. And trading is absolutely no different at all. You cannot make choices out of bad decisions, out of your desperation, because the market does not care about your personal life. It is its own entity. It doesn't know your name. It doesn't care what your name is. It doesn't care whether you made $1 million or whether you lost the last $5 in your pocket. This thing is absolutely a beast, and it cares about nobody but itself. You care about it. It does not care about you. So in order to succeed in this business, we have to adapt the same mindset as the market itself has. Okay, we just here for business. You're not my financial savior. We just here for business. So therefore, I need to create a environment where I can get into trades and I don't care what happens. It is what it is. We just playing this here game. How do I do that? Okay, this is where my scanner comes in, guys. I'm being very honest. After all these years, without this, I'm actually lost in trading. I really am. I'm lost without this scanner. That's why I call it the employee. I'm completely lost. Thank you, Tonya, for telling. Tonya's on YouTube. She said, "Yeah, I'm telling the truth." Thank you. I got one person telling the truth. Everybody else, they like to pretend. They like to pretend. This is what separates super easy from. I'm willing to tell you, this is just the way it is. And for me, who has nothing else but this, yeah, I don't have anything else to do. I don't have anything else to do. So it's hard for me not to be into trades. This has always been my Achilles heel in trading. I can break down charts like nobody's business. In fact, I enter trades sometimes before many of the people y'all know. And then they send out these alerts or whatever else. And I'm like, I was already in that trade. People had private messaged me, hey, I'm finna enter this trade. Oh, I was already in it a long time ago. Why? Because I had built a system that tells me. I already know. So then what is the problem? Because if there's no trades coming out in the next hour, what do I do with myself? What do I do? What do I do? So then I start trying to make something happen versus just obeying the system. And so with this becomes my trading addiction because I have to wait for it to send me an alert. And sometimes I'm sitting on the couch, dang, I can't wait. When the next one coming out? Come on, send me an arrow. Come on, send me an arrow. Send me an arrow. Why? Because I have to restrain my flesh. I have to control my emotions, and I cannot be the boss of me. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but you make a terrible self-boss because you have lack of self-control. And so you have to have somebody else overseeing what you do. So this is actually my employee, but this is also my boss. If it doesn't send me an alert, I have no business looking at these charts. I just have to wait. And if it sends me an arrow in the opposite direction of the overall trend, yeah, it's a great pullback trade. It's not saying that it's not wrong, which sometimes I'll still take it. Maybe it dropped down too far and it's like, hey, here's an opportunity. I'll take it for a pullback because I just need to be in the trade. Realistically, if I didn't have that addiction, would I have even taken that pullback trade? Probably not. But I need something to do. I need something because it just, when you take a trade, it's just this overwhelming feeling of this adrenaline rush. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. And every trade gives you that adrenaline rush. And when you don't have it, and this is all you have, it makes you a poor trader. So I have to rely on my boss / my employee called the Simplicity Scanner or the Ocean Wave, which comes with a scanner. And when they tell me, okay, now you look at the trades, it's like a dog let out of cage. I'm running at my charts. Okay, can't wait, hoping and praying that this is in the right direction. And so therefore, look what happens. I still have to be disciplined even when I get it. It said, okay, GCAD said there was a sale. Okay, cool. Look here, and I say, okay, yeah, he was in the downtrend. This arrow was also down, so I took the trade and I won. And then walk away and wait for the next one. That's called a mechanical system. Why? What makes it mechanical? It's no different from your car. Your car has very simple functions. I have a nice car in the garage. I got my wife a nice car that she wanted. Okay. Both of them are drop tops. You can put the top down, all that fancy stuff. I got my motorcycle. Okay. All that. Cool. But I'm sitting here with you guys. So what good is that car going to do? Nothing. Why? Because it has a very clear mechanical system. You sit your butt in the car and then you can push the button and the car will start. I can look at the car from here, but it won't help me because unless I'm in the car and I push the button, the car won't start. See how it's very systematic. Sit in the car, push the button, the car starts. Type of 50 if you guys are understanding exactly what I'm telling you here. This is why retail traders are terrible traders. They don't have a mechanical system saying, you're not the boss of this market. You need somebody to tell you what to do. So, in other words, yeah, you want to be your own boss, but you need a boss over you because you're not disciplined. This is why most retail traders, in my opinion, you are literally better off having a job and then trading on the side because you need somebody to keep you in check. Because even at your own job, you make a terrible employee if you're honest with yourself. Only reason why you don't do some of the proclivities and the itchy things that you got in your mind is because you got a boss overlooking you. And you know that if you do go off, they're going to fire you. So therefore, you got parameters in you, over you, to help keep your proclivities and your little itchiness in check. Guys want to flirt with all the women in the office, but they know, hey, I might end up in HR. So they keep their little lust in check at the workplace. Type of 200 if I'm telling the truth. And see, a lot of people don't want to hear this. This is why they don't come to super. They don't want to hear the truth. They rather cuss me out than to hear the truth to improve their trading. But I'm telling you the truth. Because you're never going to be a good trader if you don't get you in check. Everybody wants, well, give me a trading psychology. You're getting it now. You're terrible at it. Not because of your skill level, but because of your will level. You have the skills to pass trading challenges a long time ago, but you don't have the discipline, which is a you. You are the issue. Your itchy hands got to be in the trade. All right, then if that's the case, that's where this comes in for me. I can't look at trades until this tells me to. And as soon as an alert hit my phone, I'm jumping like I just got let out of a cage. I'm rushing to my charts. I even got a separate laptop out there in the main area. It's me and Nancy, we sit together, watch movies and stuff. Guess what I got next to me? I got my laptop right there. So as soon as the alert hit my phone, boom, I don't even have to get up no more. I'm right there looking at my charts, looking for that opportunity. When this tells me that's okay. I called it a long time ago, trading addiction. You're addicted to trading. So if you're going to be addicted to trading, have a mechanical system that is your boss that will tell you when you are supposed to look at these charts. And if you don't get told, you don't trade. And in doing so, it gives me enough opportunities to trade at least 3 to 4 nice setups a day without overly excessively trading. So it's a double benefit for me. It keeps my urges in check, but it also gives me the right setups to look at. Okay. And if it fits the rules, I take it. If it don't, I just have to sit on my hands and wait for the next one. So that is why I went from taking 20 and 30 trades a day down to just a few trades a day. And in doing so, do you believe that your win rate will automatically go up by doing so? Yes or no? Type. Type. Come on, quick, because I got to share something very important with you guys. I got 14 minutes left, and then I got to get out of here. Yeah, so of course, your win rate will automatically go up because your mechanical system is telling you exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. So you're getting enough trades to get your urge out, but you're not overly trading no more because you're not the one in control. You do need a boss, even if it's mechanical. This is actually, I call it my employee, but truth be told, this scanner is the boss. Notice this whole time while I've been talking to you guys, it ain't sent out no alerts. So if I would have took this trade and won on this one, cool. Okay. Let's look at another one that told me. Yep, you're okay. See, right here. Here was another trade. Right there. It told me to sell it right there. You're okay. I go to my charts and I say, okay, do I like the setup? I see us tap dancing off of resistance. Go to the 4-hour time frame, and there it was. Let me mark it up so you guys can see. See, here's enough trades for today. And that's even for news events, which I stopped trading news events because I got spooked out of them a long time ago. But I think I'm really talking to y'all. I'll probably get right back into it. I really think I am. smaller lot size. I stopped trading news events a long time ago because I got spooked out of it. See, mental battle. I'm like, yeah, but simplicity was right on this one. I mean, look how many times this mechanical system was right. Right here. Are we walking downstairs? Yes, we're walking downstairs, so it is a downtrend. Right here, where this line is where the arrow said to sell. Okay? It's in the downtrend and it said to sell down. So look at what I just missed out on this morning again. Another 48 pips. That's 3 trades already. All of them won. And all I had to do was just follow the mechanical system. 3 winning trades, and I would have already been up 150 pips. That's a blessing. So, number 1, I'm only taking trades when this tells me to. Number 2, now I'm not just randomly taking trades because I'm bored and over trading, taking 10, 20, and 30 trades a day. I'm only taking trades when this is telling me to. This is actually, I need to start calling this my employee. I need to call this my supervisor. That's why I'm changing your name. All right, so baby, here's what I'm gonna call you, okay? Matter of fact, let me say the template. Oops. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna give you a new name, baby. I'm sorry. I should have did this a long time ago. See, this is why teachers I enjoy teaching because sometimes you learn. Let me change your name to supervisor. I hope I spelled that right. All right, watch this. Y'all know this one. Boss chick. Okay. That's what I'm calling it. That's my boss. Boss chick. That's my boss. She tells me what to do. Boss chick. All right. All right. I have something very important to share with you guys. Yeah, that's right. Yuri said, yeah, y'all know I was telling y'all that all the whole time. Yuri, that's good. That's good. He said in your Bob Marley voice, no error, no trade. Y'all remember that song I told y'all? No arrow, no trade. Okay, if the arrow don't say it, then you don't take it. Praise God. Thank you, bro. Okay, can I share something personal with you guys, and then we'll end class because I really have to go. I appreciate that one, man. Good, good, good. All right, that's good stuff right there. All right, you made me laugh. All right, so here's the deal. I need to head on out because I got a lot to do, and I have a doctor appointment to go to. This is not about trading, but don't click off because I'm going to give you something else that's more important, and you'll realize what I'm saying. I know so many people who are highly successful, very highly successful, and this is not just in our circle of what you call your level of income. It has nothing. It's not income based. This is not income based. What I'm about to tell you guys quickly is something that it has nothing to do with income, but everybody's affected by it. And whether you are poor or whether you are rich, everybody gets affected by this one way or another. Okay. All right. So here's what's happening this weekend for me. Okay. This weekend, of course, it is Valentine's Day. Okay. Valentine's Day is this weekend. But what it actually is for me, see, I'm a smart guy. Okay. It's also me and Nancy's 11-year wedding anniversary. Okay. Me and my wife's 11-year wedding anniversary. We've been married for 11 years. We have not had an argument in going on 7 years. I think it is 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years. We haven't had an argument in 6 or 7 years now. Literally, no argument. Okay. Typically, when you see one, you see the other because we always are around each other all the time. People say, you don't get bored? Mm-mm. No, I don't. Some of her friends be offering saying, hey, let's go on a girlfriend trip. My wife, she ain't into that. She said, I got to take my man with me. Not saying, yeah, no, but realistically, let me teach you guys a principle real quick and then we'll be done with class. Okay, so please hang tight. Just don't click off because this is going to bless you whether you're in a relationship, just got out of one, or whatever. This is going to bless your socks off, okay? To be honest with you guys, I can teach you trading, but this is really not my passion. I am a certified life coach, okay? And so is my wife. We've spoken on stages. We've been invited to events to be speakers and all these different things. And years ago, we used to have our own talk show on Facebook where we had 250,000 followers. I really enjoyed that. Okay. Because no matter how much money you make in this market, which today we just took care of fixing your trading habits. We learned how to, okay, for those who want to take opportunity to get the system or already have it, use it. The point is that even if you make a boatload of money in trading, there's still going to be a personal problem which people don't solve because they put more into, to be honest with you guys, fellow traders, be honest with me. Don't people put more emphasis on trading than they do in their relationships? If you agree with that, type of 500 in the box. If you agree with that. Oh, and thank you guys for the happy anniversaries. If you agree with what I'm telling you, just type a 500 in the box, okay? And I'm going to give you what happened because in the first 3 years of our marriage, and this is when I was living in my 7,000 square foot house, okay? We had a guest suite built in that house because we had so many people coming over to visit all the time until instead of them flying into town and getting a hotel room in that house, I had built a guest suite that was huge, had a beautiful view of the backyard, had a walk-in closet that was in a circle. I mean, it was just like hotel. It was better than a hotel, okay? And so I built that house with the guest suite in there. So when people were flying to town, they would be able to just come and stay. And don't get a hotel, just stay in the guest suite, okay? You have your own private section of the house, all right? So when we got married though, and this is the truth, when we got married for the first 3 years, the relationship was so tumultuous until oftentimes either she or I would actually stay in the guest suite away from each other. Keep in mind that at that house, my house, the 7,000 square foot house, my bedroom was 2,500 square feet, 2-story bedroom with a balcony that overlooked the lake, okay? So my bedroom was bigger than some people's apartments and houses, just my bedroom. And as big and spacious as that, and I had a 10-foot fireplace in that house. That's why I wish I would have stayed in the house and when I was doing this, because a lot of y'all wouldn't believe success unless I was, showboating that house and showing my cars, my driveway and this and that back, when I was staying there. A lot of people would probably flock to me more like they do to other youngsters who's out there showing their little house and this and that. To me, I've already done that. I'm older now. I went through that phase, but probably if I did every video with a, videographer walking me around my house and my pool table room, my theater room, my 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom house, 4-car garage, driveway that can hold 6 cars, and living around the corner from sports stars, and me, I should have did that then, and then probably would have had a massive following in this business. But it is what it is. But the point is that house was massively huge, spacious. It was the biggest house in the neighborhood. It was so big. In fact, I was interviewed on ABC News years ago. They came to in front of my house, me and my dad, and they interviewed me and my dad in front of my house. The point is this: as big as the house was, as big as my bank account was, I was miserable, and so was she. So some of you guys thinking that once you get this trading down pack, it's going to fix your relationship. It will not. And I know no trader on the planet has ever told you this. Go check out any YouTube channel. You'll see it's not there. But a lot of them just went through divorces and breakups and stuff like that. I know them. They did. So here's how did we go from, and this was me. I was talking about divorce all the time. I'm ready to get divorced. I'm ready to get divorced. That's all you heard basically it's hard for me to say in my head that there wasn't a month that went by where I didn't think about divorcing. It's just, I'm ready to go. I'm done with all this. And the truth is, she wasn't even a bad person. And neither was I. What was the problem? Right. Let me share this story with you guys, give you the punchline, and I'll let you guys go and go from there, okay? Everybody with me so far? Type a 40 in the box if you're with me so far, okay? I just want to make sure I'm not losing you guys on this, because this is going to be, if you want to be successful in life, you have to have financial success, but you also have relational success. When you have both of those, then you are successful, okay? Look at the Jeff Bezos and all these other people, billions of dollars, and they're still divorced, okay? So I just want to give you my tip, since it's my 11-year anniversary coming up. How do we go from hating to be around each other to now we're inseparable? I hate even going to the store without her. She's my absolute best friend. Okay, she's my absolute 100% best friend. If I got to go around the corner to her, she doesn't even let me go out the door without, hold on, baby, I didn't pray for you. And she'll stop and say, Father God, please protect my husband and watch over him. So that it's just the sweetest thing. That's why I got to go to the dentist all the time because it's so sweet. It gives me cavities. And it's the same person I didn't want to be around and wanted to divorce. How do we turn it around? All right, let me give you guys this story and I'll let you go. Oh, iPhone, I see you got a question. I'll get to you. You'll be the one question. Kevin, I'll get to you. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand. Let me say this real quick. Let's get to Kevin's question. Let me close the class for today. All right. Because I literally have 2 minutes, but I'm going to stay back, give you guys a story, and then take Kevin's question, and we'll be done. Here we go. My wife and I, one time, we went to this restaurant. And when I speak to couples, this is what I share with them, the same story. I will never forget the experience. Notice what I just said. Write this word down. I will never forget the what? Somebody type. What did I just say? I'm already giving you the tip. I will never forget the what did I just say? Somebody type it. Let me see who's paying attention. Nobody. Nobody got it? Let me repeat what I just said to you. I said, I'm going to tell this story because I never forgot the experience. Write that word down. The experience. I'm waiting on y'all because if y'all don't type it, I'm assuming y'all don't want to hear my story. Okay. All right. Somebody typed it. Okay. All right. Here we go. And this is the truth. We went to this restaurant that we never went before because that's one of the things we like to do. We like to try out new restaurants. So we went to this restaurant we'd never been to before. We go into this restaurant because we've seen that it was packed all the time. It was like a wing spot, but it was like a wing sports bar. And so it's like, okay, well, why don't we just try it? So we went in, we waited to be seated, and it was packed in there, like usual. It was packed, you know. How do I know it was packed? Because there's always cars there. So this is our first time going in there, but we knew it was packed because there was always cars there. So we decided we go in, and we waited patiently, and they seated us. Okay, we sat down. First of all, the waitress came to our table, and you know how a busy restaurant is, and I'm not to respect waitresses, nothing against them, but this was different. Experience, write the word down. Experience. It was a different experience. So this waitress, she came over to our table, and she looked bubbly. And she didn't just ask us our drink orders. She was asking us, hey, how are you guys doing? And just chitter chatting like we were the only customer in the room, even though the place was packed. You and I both know you go to any sports bar, wing joint, or whatever, when it's packed, they're taking your order quickly. Hey, what can I get you to drink? Okay, I'll be right back. And they're in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. No, she stopped and thought as if there was nobody else in the restaurant. Okay. So then she took her drink orders and she chittered with us, and then she left. She came back and then you want to take her order, and she was sitting there chitting with us and making recommendations and this and that, blah, 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 just friendly. Okay. And then when she left, there was a guy who came over to our table. Remind you, this place is packed. Don't forget that. The place is packed. There's a man who came over to our table, and he started chitting with us as if we were the only ones there. Okay. And it's not like he knew, oh, this is Uncle P. He didn't know me because back then I wasn't Uncle P. I didn't even have a Forex company. I was doing real estate and other things, but nobody knew me. Okay. He walked away, and I told my wife, I said, he's either the owner or the supervisor. She said, how do you know? I said, I just know. I just know. So he came back, chitter chatted. The waitress came back. She brought our food. Watch this. She said, how's the food? I said, oh, they didn't make it right. She said, oh, really? Okay, no problem. What do you want? And da, da, da. And I've changed my order. They brought back the order, and the food was all right. Not to my likings, but it was all right. The guy comes back to the table. talking with us again. And he asked us, "Oh, so is this your first time here?" "Yeah, but it's our first time here." "Oh, good, man. So tell me a little about you about a busy restaurant." Watch this. Why am I saying all this? Watch this. One of the waitresses came over to him while he was at the table talking to us and said, "Oh, your wife is waiting outside." He said, "Oh, okay, tell her I'll be right there." So he ended up finalizing the conversation. "Hey, well, it was really great to meet you and this and that," and left out the door. And I told my baby, I said, "See, didn't I tell you he was the owner or a supervisor?" She said, "You sure was right." She said, "How did you know?" I said, "The way he was carrying himself. I knew before I even knew who he was when he was just walking around. I said, I know he's the boss. He's the boss over here." Okay, the way he was carrying himself. Now, why am I saying all that? Long story short, with this restaurant, the food actually wasn't that good. Why would I go back though? Somebody type. Let me see if you figured this out. Why would I go back and give them another chance? Type, 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 type. Why would I give them another chance? This is going to be key to you having a better life moving forward, or ended up in divorce court, or constantly in and out of relationships. Why was I willing to go back? Somebody type. Y'all getting it? There you go. Stop right there. Don't nobody. Derek, you hit it. You hit it. You hit it. Write this down in your notes. Customer service. That's the word I teach to couples now. Customer service. When I learned from that experience, and me and Nancy had already started doing better, but I said, I've never forgot that concept of teaching about customer service. Here's the point. Nancy is not just my wife or my best friend. She's my customer. She was there when I had no money and I was about to be homeless. And I told you guys, everybody know, oh, Uncle P, Uncle P. I wasn't Uncle P then. I was just a guy who was a multimillionaire, lost everything. And here's my best friend saying, hey, you and your kid can stay on my couch if you need to, if you need a place to crash. And this is when she had a 2-bedroom apartment for her and her son. And it was only 1,200 square feet. The whole apartment, including the garage, the upstairs, downstairs, the whole garage, everything was only 1,200 square feet. That apartment I can put in my bedroom twice over. And I was about to lose everything. And she offered me a roof over my head and a place to stay. That was when we were friends. We get into a relationship. Now all of a sudden we got to take on roles where you my wife and you my husband, and have jacks up relationships. That's why I always tell couples, when you get married, do not take on any roles. Just be friends. Friends will do whatever needs to be done. If the dishes need to be done, either one who's available can get it done. Don't say it's her job or your job, and this is a man's job. That you're already destroying your relationship. Here's the point. We started working on customer service, and I'll never forget, and I can't say this story without saying this. I remember one time we went to this park that we used to like to sit at, and we went to Cold Stone Ice Cream, and we were struggling really bad in our marriage. And I'll never forget, she began to tell stories about how she grew up and how I grew up, and we started sharing that stuff, and it really opened up, and we started crying and sharing our wounds. And I'll never forget, God came. It was kind of like God came to both of us simultaneously without me saying it to her or her saying it to me. And God said, "You're about to lose your best friend." That's all. I still remember years ago. That's all God. He spoke into my spirit. He said, "Man, you're about to lose your best friend." And that was the turnaround point. You're about to lose your best friend. Moving the story forward quickly. From that standpoint, I began to understand that I'm really providing very poor customer service in this relationship. And I'm feeling like I'm receiving very poor customer service in this relationship. So we began to work on customer service. This is my customer. What can I do to make my customer feel good when she's in my presence? Because truth be told, if I was my own customer, I probably wouldn't like the service I was getting. Some of you guys, this is why you're making bad decisions and you cannot be in a good relationship, because truth be told, here's what you're avoiding. You are avoiding dealing with your own pain in your own heart. You are broken. You are wounded. And you keep taking these wounded parts of you into a relationship, knowing full well that if you had to date your own self, you wouldn't make a good fit for you. And you keep blaming everybody else as if they're the problem, because you refuse to acknowledge that you are wounded. And you're making everybody else you come in contact with responsible for healing you. And as a result, what you're saying is they need to understand that I'm their customer, but I never have to acknowledge that they are my customer as well. They need to treat me good, but I never acknowledge the fact that am I treating them good as well? Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. If you know I'm telling the truth, type a 500 in the box. Maybe not for you, but for somebody you know who's going through a relationship breakup or a divorce. And they always going to talk to people about, yeah, this person wasn't no good. This wasn't no good men and it wasn't no good women. And they never acknowledge the fact that you provide poor customer service yourself. It's not always the other person. There's something wrong with you. Am I telling the truth right here? Yes? Am I telling the truth? And I know we're over time, but I'm giving you as my anniversary gift to you guys. How do we make it out of that tumultuous period to now this coming up weekend, which we're going out of town, and we're going to do some special things together because here we are reaching 11 years and we haven't had an argument in 6 to 7 years when we used to cuss each other literally. And I hate cussing. I don't even like cussing. But when I'm angry, yes, that's why I can't be a preacher man. I don't never want to be no preacher man because people going to crucify me. Oh, you said a cuss word. I sure did because I was pissed. You take me to the highest level. I'm just got it then. I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it. And that's what I used to do. I used to just let this beautiful woman just giving it to her because I didn't even care. I'm ready for divorce. And the whole time it's because my expectations of what I'm expecting from you, and you ain't meeting my needs, and not realizing, sir, you're not meeting her needs. You're providing very poor customer service with a bad attitude. And you wonder why she don't want to shop at your store no more. You wonder why she want out. And then you go right to that job and you be as polite as you can to those customers, even when they work your nerve. But you come home and have no tolerance for the person who's laying in the bed with you. How is that possible? At your job, the customer is always right. And you're very patient with the customers at the job. But then you come home and act like this person means nothing to you. And they lay in the bed next to you. How is that possible? You see how twisted this is? And nobody teaches on this. Everybody's teaching you make the money in the markets. We already covered that. But even if you made $1 million, you're still going to be unhappy because the second thing that makes you feel fulfilled with money is having a peaceful home and somebody to celebrate it with. And the problem is, if you're not a peaceful person with yourself, you can never be peaceful in a good relationship. You're going to be very destructive. Stop blaming other people for your poor customer service. Quickly, here it is. Nancy gives me one of the best customer service marriage experiences I've ever had in my life. I would have made one of the biggest mistakes in my life had I divorced 30 years ago over some stupid stuff. I would have given away the biggest blessing that God had for me because I was so blinded, and so was she. And so since then, because of that restaurant experience, this is what I teach to other people. If you had to have your spouse, if I would have to speak to your spouse and say, rate your customer service experience with your significant other right now in front of them, and you shut up, don't defend yourself, shut up and just listen. Just listen. And we was at a marriage conference, and this actually happened. And he asked us to speak to a group of marriages who was at the table, and each one were talking. And God spoke to him. He said, "Talk to them about customer experience." And so I began to answer each one of you guys that's sitting here at this table. Uh, do you feel appreciated by your significant other? Do you know husband and wife, all of them who were sitting under a table, started, and this was at a fancy event, fancy marriage event. They invited us and asked us to attend and help with. And I asked that question, do you know every person who was sitting there raised their hand and said, no, I don't feel appreciated by my spouse. Doesn't that fall under poor customer service? So I told them, you don't really need counseling. You need to work on your customer service. Here's an example. How many times a day do you tell your significant other thank you? In fact, for some of you guys, when was the last time you actually told them thank you? You've been arguing so much over everything you feel they don't do until you've never stopped to tell them thank you for the things that they do do. Oh, I just hit on something. Landmine. Landmine right there. See, this is what I prefer to do. I can teach trading, but I prefer to do this. Right now, 1 million couples should be on here. Had they heard this little short message of what fixed my marriage, I can save thousands of divorces today. When was the last time you told them thank you? You are so busy focused on what they are not doing until you're not paying attention to the things that they are doing. This is why they feel like they can never please you. Or it might be vice versa. You may feel like you can never please your significant other. Why? Because they show no appreciation for what you do. And while you're barking up the tree talking about they don't show no appreciation, when was the last time you told them thank you? See, it's all about you. You've so focused on their shortcomings until you never appreciate what they do do. And so each spouse at that table both felt the same way. I said, isn't this amazing that both of you guys feel the same way? And it was eye-opening for them. Because all you want to do is go to marriage counseling, relationship counseling. Why? Because you just want people to hear your side of the story. You have no care to hear what the other person is really trying to say. Y'all got poor customer service in that house. So how do you fix it? First of all, both of you guys stop, get on your knees and pray together. And then you make a commitment from this day forward, I'm going to give you the best customer experience you ever had. That's it. Well, what about our issues? I used to do marriage counseling, and I tell you this, one of the worst things you can do is do marriage counseling. You know why? Because everybody wants to talk about issues, issues, issues. I was telling them, and they thought I was strange, and some people rejected my idea. I said, I don't want to hear about your issues. What? You don't want to hear about me? I want to hear it. I said, how many other people you know? If you haven't told enough people about your issues, do you want to hear about the solution, or you want to keep having people just hear about your issues? Because what's going to happen is you're going to break up, or you're going to end up in divorce court, and the judge is going to constantly keep hearing about your issues. Everybody heard about your issues. So don't bring your issues to me. I don't care about your issues. Do you want to hear a solution? That's the question. If you want to hear the solution, here's the deal. Here's your homework assignment. And I used to really give people this homework assignment. I said, starting today, go home and find 10 reasons throughout the day to just tell him thank you. If he used to always leave the toilet seat up and you see he's putting the toilet seat down, tell him thank you. Babe, I noticed you start putting the toilet seat down. No, thank you, baby. What? Do you know he'll flip his wig if you have one? He'll flip his, wait a minute, what's she tripping off of? See, it'd be so weird. If sir, you came home and said, you know what, baby, no, don't worry about making dinner. Let me make it for you. So you used to coming home to a meal and just telling her, I don't like this food. Hold on. Not realizing, hey, Nigarachi, it took time to cook this meal. And you coming in with your ungrateful self, well, I'm the head of this house. Hold on, Nigarachi, you tripping, bro. Whether the food is not good or not, don't make that to be the main issue. Make the main issue the fact that she took the time to make you something. Maybe she never learned how to cook. Maybe she grew up with a mama or a daddy who never taught her how to cook. She's still the best she can. Do you appreciate the effort over the meal itself, or is the meal more important than the person? I wish I had 1,000. Somebody type 1,000 in the box. Type 1,000 in the box. You see what I'm saying? We stop talking about our issues and we start appreciating each other. That was the key turnaround. And when we started showing appreciation for each other, magically delicious, the issues themselves dissipated. This is why I don't want to hear people talking about their marriage issues. I want to talk about your customer service. Because when a person started, dear Jesus, oh God, I'm in the wrong place. I feel like I'm in the wrong place. God knows I feel like I'm in the wrong place. This is what I should be doing. I should be on stages talking about, yes, I understand markets. I don't care about the markets. I love talking about this because this will change thousands of lives overnight. Everybody want to hear your issues. You go to your girlfriends and talk about your issues. You complain to your boys about the issues. Nobody is telling you to shut up about them daggone issues. I want to use another word, but God help my tongue. Thank you, Jesus. I don't want to hear about your crappy issues. You told everybody about them. You never said how many times you told that person thank you today. Why? Because you don't tell them thank you. All they hear from you is complaints. They hate coming home to you, just like you hate coming home to them. But you always talk about, oh, I hate coming home to them. But don't you think they hate coming home to you? They don't appreciate nothing I do. When was the last time you said thank you? You see how you turn the tables around. When was the last time you showed gratitude for anything they did? And you wonder why nobody want to do nothing for each other. Because this poor up in this restaurant here. I would never come back to your restaurant. Poor customer service. Oh no. You serve bad food and you got poor customer service? Absolutely not. This is why that restaurant story is so important. Because even though the food wasn't all that great, the experience they gave me felt like me and my wife were royalty in that place. Because as busy as it was, several waitresses came to the table and the owner came to take the time out and greet us as if we were the only ones. They make us feel like family. They made us feel like home. That experience superseded the food. I remember the experience and I don't even remember what we ordered. I remember the experience. I don't even remember the food they messed up on. Because guess what? They treated us so nicely until the food wasn't even a big issue. And this was over maybe 8 years, 10 years ago. I still remember the experience. I don't even remember the food. Why? Because in the grand scheme of things, how they made us feel was more important than the thing itself. You make it about the food. I'm making it about the experience with my wife. I used to do what you used to do, make it about the food. This ain't right. This ain't this. And I don't like the way you're doing this. And I don't like, and why you on your phone all the time? And why get that issue. And we need to resolve these issue. And all she's hearing is negativity, 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 negativity. And you go in that corner so long until mentally you don't see a way out. And so guess what you're talking about? Breakup and divorce. And then you move on to the next one and you rinse and repeat the same mistake over and over again, wondering why you're constantly in and out of relationships. And when we flip the script and say, you know what, I don't make it about any of these issues anymore. I just want to show I have never been told thank you. Let me give it to you like this. If I had to equate the number of times my wife thanked me for everything that I do to the number of trades a person takes in a day, we would clearly say that she trades way too much per day. That's how many thank yous I get in a day. Do you think I feel like I'm getting good customer service out of my wife? Absolutely. And because she tells me thank you every day, how much harder do you think I work just to keep hearing those thank yous? Oh, God, this is strong. I'll leave you with this. I'll stop because this is not that type of show. Y'all missed it. Let me just leave you with that. I want to make sure you didn't miss what I just said, and I'll stop. Okay? Hear me good again. Hear me good again. I just gave you the solution to all relationships. All. All. This principle can even work on a political level. We're seeing complete, and I understand why things are being done, but the truth of the matter is, countries are feeling unappreciated by the others. Countries are feeling used by others. They have poor customer service. If we took the same principle even on a political level, do you know we would be a unified country? You have the Republicans and Democrats always at each other's throats. How is it possible we're called the United States when we're always at each other's throats? All the time. Nobody gets along with each other. Poor customer service. When was the last time you heard a Democrat say something good about a Republican or a Republican say something good about the Democrats and we call ourselves the United States? We're not, we already been divorced. You're literally seeing political divorce. And this is how people run their homes the same way. They never have nothing good to say about the other person. One person in your house is a Republican, the other one is a Democrat. And I don't mean on a political standpoint, I'm talking about the mentality. They never have anything good to say about each other. They're always at odds. They're always finding something wrong with every decision, everything that's done. Am I telling the truth? Type of 5,000 in the box if you know I'm telling the truth. Come on now. Talk. Type quickly because I got to go. Got to go. They never have anything good to say. Never. This is why I don't like politics. Even if a good idea comes up, if it didn't come from my party, guess what? It's a problem. And they constantly arguing. And this is the way people are running their relationships, the same exact way. You never have nothing good to say about your other person. But don't let them do one thing wrong. You're all on top of them over what they do wrong. And you never appreciate anything they do. And so they feel unappreciated, and so do you. And this is why you're constantly breaking up. And this is why people are in divorce court all the time. So I'm going to say the key again. If we had to equate the number of times we tell each other thank you in a 24-hour period and match it up to trading in the markets, you would call us a couple who trades way too much. We overtrade. But instead of it being overtrading, we overthink each other more than you would see in a common household. And you wonder why we haven't had a decent argument in over 6 to 7 years? No wonder. We're too busy trying to make sure to go for those thank yous. I said it like this, and I told couples this. You see somebody on the side of the road and they say, we'll work for food. You see those signs? We'll work for food. In our household, we'll work for thank yous. She had to get up very early for a meeting this morning. She woke up and she left. Guess who made the bed? I did. Normal men? Oh, no, that's a woman's job. I don't make no bed, man. I don't do no dishes. No, but you know what? She made me dinner, and I tell her, thank you, thank you, thank you. It tasted delicious. But then guess what? I cleaned the kitchen, put the dishes, and I started the dishwasher, and then I sat on the couch last night to watch a movie next to her. You know what she told me? She told me, thank you for doing the dishes. Now, average household, a man would have said, no, that's dishes are a woman's job. I'm a man, man. There ain't no man up in here gonna be doing no dishes. I don't do all that, bro. Okay, well, go ahead and get divorced. See, in our household, we don't have gender roles. It's just whoever's available. I make the bed as a thank you gift to her, but she could be out with somebody else. But she stays in the bed with me. Thank you for waking up next to me, baby. I'll make the bed. Go ahead till you mean. I got it. I got it. And I know how to make the bed the way she does. She makes it real cute with all the 6 pillows, decorative pillows. I learned how to do that. It only takes me less than 3 minutes to make the bed. Flip the covers back, put the pillows in place. See, it ain't no man or woman job. Customer service. So when she leaves out of her meeting, the kitchen is already clean and the bed is already made. She's in her meeting. When she comes out of her office, things are done already. Is this making sense to y'all? Type of Type of 55 in the box and I'll leave it alone. And now let me get to these 2 questions real quick. We're over time, but I promised that I was going to get to them. I just want to share with you guys what makes my relationship with Miss Nancy, your Auntie Nancy, why we don't have arguments. Okay? And this is why we are around each other all the time. Who wouldn't want to be around a person who appreciates every little thing you do? Oh, thank you, baby, for getting my gas. I forgot to get gas. Oh, thank you, baby, for what you think I'm gonna do? Huh? Baby, you like this outfit? Oh, let me say this one real quick before I take this in. Here's another one. Women, this baffles me. I don't mind paying for my wife to get her hair done. I don't care. She gets it done the way I like. I like long hair. That's just my style. Not anything against short or long. Whatever your flavor is, guys. Don't see. I'm happy to invest my money into it. Okay. Here's what she does. She said, "Baby, how you like the hair?" I mean, he's paying for it anyway. You know what women will do? This baffles me, women. I don't know why y'all do this. If he says, I don't like this hairstyle, I'll see what's another man appreciate this. See how you reacting? But then here's what y'all do. You will go out and hang out with your girlfriends. Girl, what do you think about this hair? Girl, I don't know. I really don't like that on you. No, you don't. What you think if it would look good on me? Girl, here's what I would do. And you go to the salon the next go around and pay for it yourself because your girlfriends told you they don't like it. But if your man told you the same thing, what would you do? He don't appreciate me. And there you go. But your girlfriends have more influence over what you wear and how your hairstyle is than the person who you're supposed to be in love with and impressing. How's that making sense to me? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You can't because it doesn't make sense. You have your girlfriends have more influence over your relationship than your own significant other. And men, you're no different. Poor customer service. I could go on and on, but I'm not. Let me take these questions. All right, go ahead, iPhone. Go ahead and unmute. I got to get out of here. I done held y'all way too long. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Good. Yeah. Quick question. I want to ask you about the Apex. About the connector, how you connect it, your account. Do you pay for like them accounts or do I need to talk to them about that? How many accounts I know you can buy about 20 accounts, but how much do they cost, like separate like accounts to connect to your regular account when I'm asking?
I have to talk to them about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a question for them. Yep. I'm learning not to speak on behalf of companies because again, when they do some shady stuff, or if the information I'm giving is incorrect and I get blamed for it, even though I don't work for these companies, I will show you guys what I'm doing. But I always prefer you guys get direct answers directly from them because I don't represent them. They don't pay me or anything. So if there's any questions, I prefer that you guys just get the answers directly from the horse's mouth so that the information you get is accurate.
Okay. Appreciate it. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good. Right. And then let me take this last hand, and we're done for today. Thank you guys for letting me speak on relationships. Marcus, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. I was calling to say on a 100K Blue Guardian account and a 50K, if I want to follow you or Dr. Elvis, what would be the lot size so handle drawdown?
Sure. I get that question all the time. So when I'm looking at a prop firm account, let's say you have a 100K account. Let's see. Let me pull up the Calcudalky. That's what I call it, Calcudalky, the calculator. Let me pull up this Calcudalky. All right. So when we're looking at a 100K account, okay, 100K, I never look at this number. Never land. I mean, never land. Never. Because what you actually are trading is not the 100K. You have to look at the drawdown limit. Okay. And on an average 100K account, the drawdown limit is about $3,000 a day. So realistically, for your $300, you're paying a tithe or a tenth of what your actual limit is. Now, you have 100K to play with, and you better be accurate. Okay. If you're going to play with a 100K account. But if you're trying to really look at where I need to set my lot size, always base it on what would you do if you had a $3,000 account? What would be your lot size then? Make sense?
Yeah, what would that be, you think?
So what I tell people, if you got a 100K account, here's what you would do. I would typically say, just start with, drop the zeros, and so, but for you guys' sake, here's what I'll tell you. All right. So here's what I would do. Just start with a 100K account, start with a 0.25 or a 0.50 max. Okay.
0.25.
Yeah, 0.25. Now here's 0.25 is even better, but the 0.50 is fine. Here's the reason why I'm telling you that on a 100K account. Because what happens, what happens today? Maybe we're in some trades and they go into drawdown because of a news event. Didn't mean our analysis was wrong, just mean the news event had popped off. You go into drawdown, but you have a 100K account with a $3,000 daily drawdown limit. Okay, so now you may be down like $300 on that trade. Okay, you got a $3,000 daily limit. You may be down $300. Are you going to piss and panic?
Good question. Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You go into a drawdown, you have watch this. I want you to be clear, everybody, on what I'm saying. You have a $3,000 daily drawdown limit, okay, on a 100K account, okay? The trade goes in against us because news just popped off. Maybe Trump did a tariff war, which is really, really shaking up the market. So anything can happen. You go into drawdown. Let's say you go into drawdown by $300, okay? How much money you still got left to play with on the next trade?
Don't know offhand.
No, look at my screen. Can you see my screen? Oh, I'm not sharing
I
my
don't
screen.
see it.
Hold on, I apologize. That's where the problem is. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, let me do that again. You got a 100K account,
Mm-hmm.
but do you really have that? You do, but you don't. The daily drawdown limit is $3,000. Okay, on a typical 100K account, 3% is your daily drawdown limit, which will make it $3,000. So technically, when you pay that $300 and some dollars, you're really just paying a tithe or a tenth of what your daily drawdown limit is. That's what you're actually purchasing is that. Okay, so now
Okay.
a trade goes against you. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I see it now.
Okay, trade goes against you by $300. How much money you still got left to play with for your daily drawdown limit?
2,700.
So do you really piss on your pants over that drawdown?
Nope.
It doesn't matter. So this is why you have to put on a lot size that it will never come even close to your daily drawdown limit, even if it goes in the drawdown, or even if it loses. It doesn't matter. It doesn't endanger the account. Okay. Number two, the second question is, let's go back just a little bit and clear this. You got a 100K account and you have a trade that loses by $300 or is in drawdown. Okay. How much money you still got left on your account?
99,700.
Okay. Now let's do it against your daily drawdown limit. Okay. Minus $300. Let's just say you're in drawdown or lost the trade. How much money you still have left for the day to play with?
2,700.
Okay. Makes sense, right? You still have plenty of money left, right?
Yep.
Okay. But here's the real question. If you lose a trade or it goes into drawdown by $300, my question to you is, will you have a fit over it?
Not knowing, not now since knowing how much left to play with.
Okay. So wait. Watch this. Not you personally, but the average retail trader. Would they lose their mind? They would?
Yeah, I think it depends on the account size.
No, it doesn't. I'm asking about the person, not the account. The average retail trader, are they okay with losing $300 on the trade?
Oh, no.
Of course they're not. No, they lose their minds, blow us up. Oh, no. It doesn't matter that we have a winning track record since the inception. It doesn't matter. That don't matter. That one trade went against them, and it's in drawdown, and we get blown up. Okay. Or the retail trader loses their mind, if they're using the copycat or whether they're trading or not, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the emotional bank account cannot handle that drawdown limit. See what I'm saying? Doesn't matter that they got plenty of money to play with. Emotionally, they can't even handle $300. So if that's the case, then you need to bump that trade down to 0.25. So if that trade loses, can you emotionally handle losing $150?
That's a lot better than the other one. Yeah.
Okay, so you got 2850. Can you emotionally handle 2850?
Probably not. Well,
some people could. Think about it. All right, do this. You got a $3,000 limit minus you're in drawdown by $150 on this trade. You still got $2,850 to play with for the entire day. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Do you think the average retail trader can handle that?
I think they could.
Then that's what limit they need to set. See, it's not about the daily drawing. It's not about the 100K account, not about the $3,000 day. What can you emotionally handle? For many people, be honest with you, they have a tug of war in their soul. Because truth be told, even with a 100K account, they can only handle this. So that if the trade goes against them, they have $3,000 daily drawdown limit. Let me clear this. $3,000 daily drawdown limit. and they only lose $75 on the trade. That's about what they can emotionally handle, so that can continue to do what they're doing without their daily job. That's the best they can handle. They can handle that. If you can, and this is what you can emotionally handle without freaking out, then this is for you. Set it at 0.01, 10 cent lot size. If you can handle a little bit more drawdown or whatever, because it's going to happen whether you trade with using our service or any other service, the markets are their own entity. They will not always go directly into profits. We love when they do, but oftentimes they will go in the drawdown first and then spring up, because nobody controls the markets. The markets are their own entity. We're just entertaining ourselves in it. So Trump can sign something today and instantly the market will go in the drawdown. Nothing you can do about that. So what can you emotionally handle without losing your mind? So if that's the case, then even though it's a 100K account, emotionally you can't handle it. So then just set it as 0.10 lot size. So you can really, really handle. Once your emotions are in place, and drawdown, wins, and everything else, and you feel good, then you can bump it up to 0.15, bump it up to 0.25 or whatever. The conflict is going to come where, hey, I'm in this prop firm and I'm trying to hurry up and pass it, as if you have control over the markets. You don't. You get that out of your head. That's why a lot of the prop firms who used to start with, you have a certain amount of time to pass this prop firm, they knew, hey, you're really scamming people, because you acting like they got control over the markets. They don't. So that's why a lot of the prop firms said there's no time limit. Why? Because they noticed they had to fix their own issue. They noticed people were rushing to pass these prop firms and blowing the accounts. People who rush to pass a prop firm, they always blow the account, because number one, here's their daily drawdown limit. Okay, $3,000. Their lot size, they're doing 2 lots, because I got a 100K account, I got 2 lots. Therefore, if the trade goes into drawdown, it's already at $1,000, and they're freaking out. Why? Because I got to hurry up. Then it goes against them, and they blow the account. Me, I don't come close to that. I don't care how long it takes me, whatever. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay,
Make a lot
so
of sense.
the lot size is the one thing we have control over every trade we take. Even if you are a person who overtrades, if you can control your lot size, you still will master the game. You will still master it. Even if you have a 50-50 win streak, but you control your lot size, you still won't blow the account. Every person under the sound of my voice, and the hundreds or whatever going to watch this later, every situation is always down to one thing. If you have blown an account, typically it's because your lot size was too big and your account couldn't handle it. That's all it was. Bump it down and watch how long that account lasts. Okay? Make sense?
Well, it makes sense. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Oh, one
thank
more
you.
thing. With the other account to 50, would it be half the 100?
Half of that. Start with the 0.10. Like I said, just start with the 0.10. See how the trades are way planned. Let that run for about a week. Because again, remember, there is no time limit. Set it at 0.10. See how the trades are going. See when they go directly into profit, which is always our goal, get it into direct profit. Or if you're trading, every trader wants it to go directly into profit. See what happens. But also test it against if the trade goes against you. Okay. London market opens up overnight, trade goes against you, goes into drawdown, or you lose the trade not because of you, not because of a strategy. It was just the markets did what they did that day or during that time, right? So when the trade goes against you or it goes into drawdown, see how much you lost on the trade and look at it and say, oh, yeah, that ain't tripping. If you do that, then you can bump it up a little bit or leave it exactly where it is. But if you look at it and say, oh my God, I can't believe it, then you already know I need to bump my lot size down, because you emotionally can't handle it. You have a 100K account on paper, but your emotional bank account can only handle that. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yep.
Okay. So 0.10, here's what I'll tell you. Start with 0.10 on both accounts. Then bump it up as you see. Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for answering that question.
All right.
All right, you guys. I know I'm way behind schedule, but I appreciate you guys giving me your time today, hanging in class, and allowing me to talk about relationship advice. So hopefully that was a blessing for you guys. Again, I told you how I trade. Like I said, literally we've been in class well over time. We're 10 minutes, 1 hour and 42 minutes in. It was only supposed to be an hour class. But truth be told, as you see, The trades came out this morning. There was at least 3 of those from the scanner and all of them won. All 3 trades had won from the scanner. But since we've been in class in the last hour and 42 minutes, notice what hasn't happened. I haven't gotten any single alert. What does that do? It controls me from overtrading because I'm not allowed to take a trade unless this tells me to. That's my boss chick. So she tells me when I can take a trade. She hasn't sent out a new alert, and so therefore I just have to wait. Okay? So that controls your trading habits and for accuracy. Then we talked about relationship, work on your customer service. Here's what your homework is, everybody, for your relationship if you're in one. And even if you're not in one, some of you guys are so dogmatic on yourself, you don't even appreciate nothing you do for you. You always, let me say this to you guys real quick, and I'll let you go. I promise you I will. I said this to a group of guys who and it didn't go over very well. I'll be honest, it didn't. That's why I'm cool. I'm cool, man. I don't fit in the groups, bro. God made me different. That's why I'm not trying to be Mr. Preacher Man, but I love talking about the Bible. I love talking about different things, but because people will box you in, bro, and they don't think openly. So I was telling people, I backed up off, I used to be very heavy into self-development, self-development. And I began to notice a bad habit, a bad pattern. Some of you guys are probably doing this now. One of the bad habits is there is nobody who can talk bad about you worse than you. You don't say nothing to nobody, but that inner critic is killing you. That inner critic is making you depressed and suicidal. That inner critic is the one that's ruining your relationships. And one of the biggest reasons why you cannot have a good relationship with other people is because if you're being very honest and transparent, you have a very poor relationship with yourself. You're having a hard time getting along with you. You smile publicly, but you're really you're struggling with you. And so you're constantly looking for these self-help, self-development, going to this, going to that, self-help, self-help, self-help. And then while you're doing it, what it's conditioning your mind to think is, I'm never good enough. It's always something wrong with me. I always need to be fixed. I am so broken until I just got, okay, I'm gonna read this one on anger. Okay, Thich Nhat Hanh, who wrote the book on anger. Then I'm gonna go over to this one by what is his name? I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but I can see him right here in my, New World. Okay, where you're constantly working on self-development, self-development, self-development. Self-development, self-development, self-development. Okay, so you're reading all these books on self-development. And then you're on to the next self-development, on to the next self-development, on to the next self-development. And what you are teaching yourself is you never achieve anything. You always need fixing. What should have happened is you read a self-development or work on a part of your life, and then when you actually have achieved that goal, you stop and celebrate. Say, thank you, Jesus, that I was able to make it. I got over that. Take a break. Get yourself a little cake and say, thank you, Jesus, I got over that. Somebody hurt me real bad. Somebody wounded me. And I worked on forgiveness. Now I can actually forgive people. And you stop and take a break and celebrate that. And then you go to the next thing. But you don't take a break in between. You're just constantly, okay, I got to work on forgiving people. I got to work on love. I got to work on this. I got to work on that. I got to work on this. And it's like going to work and never being able to take a day off. That makes sense? You're always at work. And anybody who's a workaholic at their job, they are terrible people in relationships. Because the job always comes before a relationship. They don't get along with people. They only get along with their job. People who are after money, it's all about the money. They don't care about people. People means nothing to them. It's all about the money. So people who are self-development junkies, it's the same way. Nothing matters. And then anybody you come in contact with, you want them to go through a self-development process. That's why you're always trying to make them change. You're always trying to change people because that's what you're good at. You're addicted to trying to change yourself all the time, never relaxing. And so I cut that foolishness out. If I need to work on something, God brings something to my attention, I'll work on it, and then I'll step back out of that arena and say, okay, I'm cool. Let me take a break and find something to enjoy life about. Let me go outside. It's sunny and bright today. It's beautiful out here. I'm going to go outside and take a break. And so I'll listen to audiobooks that are like thrillers, like James Patterson, Alex Cross books, little mystery books, something totally different that has nothing to do with self-development. Why? Because I don't want to think about me all day long. It makes you narcissistic in a sense, but that's not in a good way. Every time you hear narcissism, you think, oh, this is a person who's arrogant. No, but people who always think about themselves, whether good or bad, are still always focused on themselves. And so the entire world out there all becomes about you. I can't be in a relationship because guess what? I'm working on this. I'm working on me. I'm working on me. I'm working on me. Okay, well, when are you going to take a break? Or are you telling me you never achieve anything? It's like putting a car into a repair shop and it's never coming out. Never coming out. Never. See, it doesn't even sound right. At some point, the car should be fixed and you should be getting your car back. My son, his car is in the shop. They said it would be ready by Monday, but they're working on a couple of more things, so it should be ready today. See, there's an expectation that the car should be coming out of the shop at some point. Type amen if this is making sense. I know I got y'all late, but does that make sense to you guys? At some point, the car needs to come out the shop so you can drive it to see if. No, just leave it in there. Find something else wrong with it. That's what you're telling the mechanic. Oh, well, so your car is ready. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Leave it in there. Just find something else wrong. This is what you're doing to you. You're always finding something wrong with you. So you never live outside the repair shop. And life is just passing you by. I told you guys, I am in the wrong place. I can do this stuff all day long because this is the mentality people are broken. And then you take this brokenness into your Forex trading. And every trade you lose just compounds. Oh, I need to work on me. There's something wrong with me. No, actually, Trump just signed something and the market went crazy. No, you didn't do anything wrong. The CPI report came out today. See, they can't accept it. It was something that had nothing to do with them. Why? Because everything is about them and they dump on themselves all the time. And they deal with depression and suicide because they never come out the repair shop. They always think that there's something wrong with them. And then they get into relationships. And then if a person says, oh, they're rejecting me. No, you was rejecting yourself before you got into this relationship. You actually got into this relationship so that somebody can emotionally reinforce you to feel good about you because you don't feel good about yourself. God, I can do this all day long. Let me stop. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. All right. So anyway, let me move on and stop this class. Guys, thank you again for your time today. Praise God for everything you did. Lord, thank you for this meeting today. And even though this wasn't supposed to be about this, if there was somebody out there who needed to hear, Lord, please let their heart be pricked. Let their heart be changed. Let them draw closer to you so that they can know how to love themselves. And once they learn how to love themselves, they'll know how to love other people. And let them appreciate themselves, Lord. Even in these markets it has nothing to do with us personally. It's not personal. We made it personal, but it's really not personal. Lord, help us to detach our emotions from these charts. And with whatever happens in these markets, win or lose, it's not about us, even though we made it that way. Help us to just focus on the method and not the emotions. In Jesus' name, amen. Somebody type amen and we're done.